Hey everybody, McKyler here real quick to remind you to go check out our Patreon. We've got 7 bonus episodes up there right now and an 8th one coming up soon. If that's something that sounds fun to you, go sign up at patreon.com/doing learning. Hope to see you over there.
Welcome to Doing Learning. I am your host for tonight, Daniel, and as always for the ride, McKyler.
Howdy folks, it's me.
It's McKyler.
I'm here. I'm ready.
Woo!
I'm the co-host tonight and I'm excited to not know what's going on.
Well, McKyler, I for this one particularly, I was kind of thinking back when we first started, kind of like when we or like our thoughts, kind of like how we started, right?
Okay.
I feel like I wanted to do something and then you wanted to do something, but then we really didn't talk about doing a podcast. Like we talked kind of about it, right?
Uh-huh.
But I specifically remember that sometimes because in case the audience doesn't know, McKyler and I were big D&D players and now Pathfinder.
Bunch of nerds.
We are. But afterwards, McKyler and I would just kind of hang back and just chat.
Yeah.
We would just chat during the night, and sometimes we'll be like, oh my gosh, it's been
For
like
way too long.
Yeah, like 45 minutes. Like, what are we doing? Like,
For like 4 hours.
Yeah, right. We need to get home. And I think that's kind of like what kind of sparked the interest as well. Like, oh, we have so much. We talk together naturally, right? We always like bring up some weird topics or whatever, and we talked about it more, and we thought it was such a great idea to just start this.
Yeah, I was like, guess what I saw on YouTube?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I saw that. How about this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it's all very natural. Yeah.
It made for a
You're
natural conversation, and it naturally evolved into what we're doing now.
Yeah, I put a little rigor into it and kind of figured it out.
Yeah. And with the topic that I have today, I kind of wanted to kind of bring it back to that a little bit. Not more me telling you a bunch of information, but us talking about it, because I think you have a lot to say about this topic. I feel like you must.
Are you going to get me fired up again though?
I don't think so. I think it's more of excited. If anything, fired up, excitement fired up, right?
Okay.
I hope you have a lot to say.
I'm like, Daniel, I truly don't care.
I hope you have a lot to say on this subject.
Me too.
Because I think it's cool. I wish I was cool enough to do some of the things that I want to like pinpoint along the conversation.
Okay.
But I want to talk about something we used every day growing up, and yet we still use it to a certain aspect even to this day.
Rollerblades.
That's a really good guess.
Is it really?
No.
Okay. I do not use those every day. I lived on a dirt road. We tried to rollerblade on the dirt road. It didn't work great.
It doesn't work on
tried it.
It doesn't work on asphalt very well either.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's like
we had like 20 feet of sidewalk.
There you go.
And then dirt. So we made it work. It was fine. Loved it.
But it does start with an R. So
I was close.
You were close. I'm talking about the radio.
Okay. Well, we're kind of on the radio now.
And that's what, like, earlier when I was like, oh, I wanted, because I was like, where are the mics and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we could totally just pick up these mics and be on the radio. You know, I was going to just say that and just start kind of like talking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I got to save it for this. I don't want to like lead you on in any way, shape, or form.
Fun.
But I think I just want to open that conversation up. What is your feelings right now about radio? What was your feelings about radio back in the day? How do you see radio now?
Interesting. Where do you want to start? At the beginning, I guess, or today? Maybe.
Wherever you want. I have a little brief history about it. I also have little points that I want to go, but I just want this to be like,
let's flow.
Let's just flow it. If I need to hit those points, I'll hit those points. If I don't, let's move on and naturally progress about this.
Okay, this is fun. That's fun. I don't know. I guess might as well talk about like right now.
Yeah,
or our current relationships with radio.
Right.
Other than I suppose the podcast, which is radio with an asterisk, I guess.
Yes.
I mean, it's similar, I guess.
I mean,
It's audio only,
exactly.
which is cool. I like it. My nephew thinks that he says we're on the radio.
Oh,
because as far as, I mean, it comes through the car stereo just like radio. So,
yeah.
Okay, this kind of counts.
Right.
It's radio with an asterisk. Outside of the podcast, radio nowadays I find pretty. It's weird, right? Because you have all the other options.
Right.
Spotify being the king,
right?
I would say.
Apple Music right up there with it.
Apple Music, I don't know.
I mean, I don't use it,
but I know some people do.
Yeah, and I've even heard Android users using Spotify because their phone provider provides Apple Music through that provider.
Wait, Android users use Apple
Music because their phone provider provides it. Yes.
Weird.
It's weird.
We're just blurring the lines between all the loyalty wars.
Yeah.
What the heck, man? We're supposed to hate each other, right? That's weird. That's really interesting. I don't use Apple Music.
I don't
think
either.
I might have did a trial for that.
Like a 3-month trial or whatever.
But I don't. I probably didn't like it because it was different than what I'm used to, which is Spotify, which I used for 15 years before that. So it's like I'm just going to use what I'm used to.
I'm on the same. I'm on the same boat with you. The interface for me was very difficult.
Yeah.
Because I'm so used to Spotify. I'm sure if you're within that interface, it's a lot simpler. But
yeah,
I just
And you know what I think it was is at the time when I had tried that, it was really. They were getting into their kind of algorithmic playlists. And so they had you could do a song radio or whatever, where you start like, I like this song, keep going with this kind of this idea. They had the Discover Weeklies, but it wasn't as sophisticated as it is now. I mean, this was seriously 10 years ago. I think I've been using Spotify for, wow. Yeah, probably 15, almost 20 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know that I started using Spotify when my wife, because she had it through the school, because, students get discounts, right?
Yeah.
And then you can kind of hop on that. So, gosh, I think I'm around there, 10 years or something like that.
Yeah. I could pinpoint. When we did this.
Actually, no, it's been more than 10 years because I've been up here for 10 years and I've had Spotify before then.
Yeah.
So it's been probably closer to 15.
So that's crazy. So we've been using this service forever. So when we're talking like nowadays, honestly, for me, that's the last decade.
Right.
Because that's what I listen to my music on.
Right.
And again, we could go down this, we'll just follow the path.
Yeah.
I liked it because of the discovery features on it.
Right.
There's a time and a place for different flavors of playlist, right? The two that I think of are the unknown and the known.
Right.
Sometimes you want something that you're familiar with, you're comfortable with. It's a vibe, a feeling that you're chasing.
Of course.
You're just in the mood for something or to sing along in the car or whatever it is. And sometimes you just want to hear something new.
Yeah, something totally maybe out of your norm, or something that is adjacent to what you like, but you want something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because there's a lot of music out there.
Oh my gosh, trillions and trillions of songs.
So I think that's probably its strong point. I think maybe people would argue that it's also its weak point because it is so algorithmically based, and I don't know how it works. I don't know. There's probably few people that maybe truly understand it and how they do their scoring system and how they figure out what sounds like what and how they how they do that, the vibe playlists, or they go along a song, or I don't know how they do it. Right. Because you could pick any song and just say go. Yeah. So I don't know how they do it. But however, you're also letting an algorithm choose your music. Right. Which is, it's pretty impersonal if you think about it. Yeah. Does that matter? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes it's really easy to personify Spotify. I don't know if you do that, but like if you have a really terrible Discover Weekly and you're like, what were you thinking? Spotify like, why on earth why did you think I wanted this?
Yeah.
This is terrible. What do you try again?
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's funny. And then you're like, oh, am I hurting its feelings? Or, you know what I mean? Like, you got to appease the robots, right?
Oh, my wife is she's so careful about Spotify. Not the whole like being kind to it, but like I will find a song that I really like and I'll be like, oh my gosh, check out this song. And I'll send it to her. Right.
Yeah.
And she will not listen to the song. She will wait for me to get home. So I listen to it on my phone.
Yeah.
Because she does not want to screw up her algorithm. Like, because I one time sent her a song and she looked it up and her algorithm was screwed for like 2 months. It was just playing songs based off that pop song, right?
Yeah.
And she likes songs, but not the majority of them. But it was like mainstream pop. And she's like, no, I don't want that. I'm not discovering the little indie songs because you gave me a big pop song.
And now it thinks that you want all pop. Yeah. It's weird how sometimes it hits like that. And sometimes so I guess that's the downside of it is you kind of, it's kind of, and I suppose it's probably this isn't necessarily an AI discussion, but one of the biggest problems with AI is kind of the confirmation bias part of it is like you will find what you're looking for. If you want an answer, you're going to get that answer.
Yeah.
It's meant to feed you what you want, which for music, it kind of works. But while you're discovering, you're also kind of narrowing your bounds on what you would experience.
Yeah.
Because of things like that. You don't want to mess up your algorithm, which I get it. Because sometimes it recommends some stuff it's not what you want.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit too far of a discovery leap.
Right.
So I get that one. We did, I know you did this too. We are really flowing too, because I don't think I've answered a single question.
And that's fine. I love it.
Just driving the listeners nuts. I'll answer them eventually. And this might be kind of a fun thing if we could ever get it established on the podcast. I know you did it. We did it together at one point. Was the music, what was it? Music League?
Music League, yes.
Which was a ton of fun.
It's super fun. We're still doing it in my group, but it's very not a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
After like 2 seasons, it gets hard.
Yeah.
Because I honestly feel like you need a break in between, like a season break, because otherwise people get tired of it, or it almost seems like a job to like, oh, I need to find a song for this and blah, blah, blah. And you get busier and it doesn't, if it's not, everybody's not on the right page, it just crumbles.
Yeah.
Luckily, the people that I do it with have kept it going. I'm the proprietor or whatever of it, but they just keep it going themselves. So, but it is fun. I will say it is fun. It's a great way to discover music that you otherwise wouldn't have known.
I always joked, because, well, the idea is if anybody doesn't know what Music League, and if we ever set it up for the podcast, which might be a fun thing. I don't know. The idea is that you pick a song per a theme, a prompt, and then it makes a playlist on Spotify. You listen to it and you vote on the songs of what best fits the theme or whatever the rules are that you establish. And then you do that like every week. And then the winner usually chooses the next prompt and you go from there. Right. Mm-hmm. Whenever I would do it, we had a pretty diverse group of people in terms of music choices. So it was all over the place. So what you're saying is you might get a couple real winners that you're like, wow, this was a really cool song. I've never heard of this. Right. Never heard of the song or the group or anything like that, or even a genre maybe. Right. But then at the same time, you would get some songs that absolutely just wrecked everything about what you had going in Spotify. Yep. And so I got some comments at some point too, because I would put in some fairly snide comments, because you can put comments when you vote, right? That are revealed only at the end. And I think the comment that I got the most comments on was I put, this song is exactly why I need a separate account for Music League. Because the song was, I think it was a video game song. I think it was like the theme song to like Sonic 3 or something weird. It was something really obscure. And I was just like, no, this is going to just ruin everything about what I've got going on.
Right.
And it's going to take forever to fix the algorithm because for some reason it puts so much priority on this. So it's a ton of fun, but yeah, that's what I think of thinking algorithms is Music League and just like, oh no, all of these, because then Spotify's like, oh, you made a playlist, you love all of these songs,
right?
Like, no, this is a game.
I think I don't know. My wife does it. Because she has a shared playlist she does for volleyball, right? So she has a group that people can just
that's cool.
put in. But I think there's a way to like this playlist exclude from my algorithm.
And I think that's somewhat new.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, within a couple of years or something like that. When we were doing Music League, which was a couple of years ago, I don't think that was an option.
And I think that's
been nice.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, I want to listen to it. I want to listen to this playlist. Yeah. But that's not what I want my algorithm to be about.
You want to experiment without making that a huge part of what you're trying to explore.
Exactly.
So that's a really nice thing. I don't think it's radio. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think that Spotify, in all of its algorithmic, whatever, all of this stuff,
right?
I wouldn't say that it counts as internet radio, even. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not really curated.
No,
it's just a database that the algorithm points you around and just guides you wherever it thinks that you want to go.
Yeah.
So then what is radio, I guess, would be the next question. And it feels like it's a much more personal experience.
Yeah, it is. From what I've read and from what I've like really learned about it. I mean, the main difference between radio and everything else, right? Because obviously radio is still here, right? It's not. It's definitely evolved from when it first started. And just to give you like, I mean, I know, but just for listeners out there, this is a doing learning podcast, so I'm still going to
learn me up.
Yeah, I'm still going to teach people a little bit. Radio is immediate information. Like, even your most up-to-date live stream, 10, 20 seconds lag delay, right? Even doesn't matter where you are. Like, you can be like, I'm sure, even when you're at work on Teams, right? If your cubicle mate is on the same Teams call, you can hear them talking before you hear them in your, right? It's just a slight lag delay.
Yeah.
Radio, none. It's you hear it right there, right then. It's live always. That's the main key feature, right?
Okay.
The key feature of radio is it's instant.
It moves at the speed of electromagnetic radiation.
Exactly.
Which is fast.
Yeah. Which is it's crazy in and of itself. Like, I try to think of that, right? I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, oh, this and this and this, and like, how is that possible? I still can't fathom radio, like radio waves going in from one place to the other. I think in the grand scheme of things, I don't think about it too hard. Yes, I understand it, but I don't like for example, if someone told me like, hey, make your own radio right now, like to transmit signal. I'm like, sure. I have no idea what to do. I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like, I know that it sends radio waves and all that stuff, but like to boost it and to hear it and all this stuff, I can't. But, everybody can be on the radio. Technically,
there's public radio.
Yeah. Anybody can pick up a microphone.
And you can just broadcast. It's science.
Yeah. Which is another cool thing. Not everybody, I mean, maybe asterisk a little bit, but not everybody can do a podcast because it takes a lot of equipment.
Yeah.
And you have to have a server space so you can distribute it and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Where radio is kind of a lot. I'm going to put this in quotation. I'm like quotating. it's a lot easier to broadcast.
Sure, because assuming you have the equipment, because
Right.
there's also a lot of equipment as with radio.
Right.
It just blasts
Yeah.
out immediately, like
Yeah.
you said. You don't have to store it and distribute.
Yeah.
It's immediately distributed. Yeah.
But but that's what it started off as. Its basis is information.
I mean, quick way to transport information.
I mean,
decently long distances.
Exactly. That's in the 1900s, 1920s. That's it was the birth of broadcasting everywhere. It was the means of like electoral votes and all that stuff. That's when that was you wanted to tune in.
Yeah,
turn it on.
Know right away what's going on. The status.
Who won or where at war or somebody, like anything. Like the radio was it, man. Like
news and sports, man.
Yeah, and that's what it was. People like gathered around for stories, for sports, for news. Like literally, radio back in the day was the modern day equivalent to Netflix. Like
sure,
families would gather around the radio,
streaming your entertainment. Yeah,
and which is what we do now with podcasts, with music and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And that's why like radio.
Okay, so now you're trying to change my mind on if Spotify counts as radio because you're streaming your entertainment. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna put a pin in my own definition. So,
but because I think I will say I think you're kind of right on that angle, right? That Spotify may not be radio. I definitely wouldn't consider it radio because it's like you said, it's very much curated and algorithmic, whereas radio, it's somebody still.
It's hosted by curated. That's the right word. By a person, by people.
People, sure. Yeah. But.
And technically, the method of delivery is completely different.
Yes.
So the science is different. So maybe that counts. You're not using radio waves. You're using the internet. Yeah.
That's I think that's the biggest distinguisher between the both of them. I think radio as I was reading, radio has when we first started it was information, entertainment, and just instantaneous, I guess, information. I keep repeating myself. Sorry. But as we got streaming services, right? Spotify, Apple Music, all this other stuff, right? We radio was putting music out there, right? Too. Uh-huh. So that was part of their biggest gig. But once all these things started coming in, radio had to pivot. Like it had almost like a crisis, right? Because if everybody's listening to music on demand without ads and stuff like that, because radio, I mean, you still got to pay the FCC. You have to have a license.
You got the overhead just to turn on the machine. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. I think they pivot back to news. That's their biggest thing, dude. News. Yeah. They hit hard where Spotify can't do it. They have that little niche of they can deliver things quick even when everything goes down. Like in disaster modes, right?
I was thinking weather.
Yeah. Like weather can come in, destroy all our cellular towers, or the internet goes down.
Sure. A server somewhere. Yeah.
And you still got radio. That's where they have the.
Yeah.
That's
you're driving through the boonies and it's always like tune in to 850.
Yeah.
850 KOA.
Yeah.
That's one here in Colorado. That's a good one. 1310 KFKA. I can't believe I remember those AM stations.
That's awesome.
And they're always what you turn on. And if you're driving out in the middle of the boonies and you needed to know if you were going to get smashed by weather.
Yeah. And I mean, even the most people would say like in your go bag, your survival bag, like, you have a hand winding radio.
Yeah. It's usually AM.
Why? Because it works. It just works.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing to think that something so in without, so many words, something so simple, right?
Yeah.
can still serve these ginormous service to an otherwise very modern world.
Yeah, in as simple as it is, it's also genius because it has longevity to it.
Yeah,
it's a pretty. It is tried and true. Yeah, that is true.
And I just kind of want to talk a little bit more about like what else radio has kind of done for people.
Okay.
Which is kind of like one of the points I kind of wanted to talk about. And I wanted to know if you ever encountered this or not. I don't know. You've lived in Colorado, right? The majority of your life?
Yeah,
right?
I have not lived out of state.
Okay. So I don't know how much you would know, but so I believe in the 90s, it happened mostly in the UK.
I was not living in the UK in the 90s.
But, you know, it was still a thing here. Pirate radio. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that is a testament to people's kind of like free speech or just kind of, I guess, kind of sticking it to the man.
Sure.
Like we can do it too. We can do it too.
Yeah, I mean, this is your point too. I mean, you haven't defined pirate radio yet, but you said earlier, anyone can do it.
Yep.
Because it's science.
Yeah. The thing is, you do need a license to do it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because the broadcast channels, you basically rent your space.
Yes, exactly. That's all it is.
Yep.
Man,
I've got a lot of really weird things that are floating around in my head to contribute, but I don't know.
No,
I don't know when.
So if you got it right now, just do it.
The weirdest one that I know of, and it's so we haven't talked about it yet. Radio is light. Electromagnetic radiation is all forms of light. Okay.
Yeah.
We already know that. I'm gonna go straight to cell service.
Okay.
Because it's a similar thing. It's just different frequencies, right? You're operating in different place, a different spot of science. With the rental space of whatever band of frequencies that you're allocated, if you're doing frequency modulated versus, of course, amplitude modulated. Anyway, for cellular providers, they're all right next to each other, right? Of their bands, but like Verizon and AT&T and T-Mobile and whatever brands I can't think of out there, they all occupy a different physical spot within the spectrum. And so because the science is different within how those waveforms work, Verizon is the best at penetrating buildings because of the band that they occupy from the FCC. Is that right?
Yeah, FCC, yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Just because of the spot that they're allocated within the electromagnetic spectrum, their service is better in buildings because those wavelengths of light can penetrate through buildings better.
Is that why they are technically more expensive?
That's part of it, I guess, because they're like,
like, oh, ours can do this.
Yeah, it's a branding thing or whatever like that. But we've tried some other stuff that are not Verizon, and it's like you can tell the people at work who have Verizon and the people that don't,
right?
Because the people that don't are like over by the windows on one part of the building, and they're like standing upside down, and they're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're doing all this crazy stuff, and then the people with Verizon are wherever they want to be.
Yep.
And so I ended up like going back to a Verizon hosted service so I could eat lunch at a table and still like I could get texts.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, but
that's interesting. Does that mean, I don't know if you know this, but it's just kind of like a question that popped up into my head, right? Does that mean they do not let that lapse?
Oh yeah,
they're on top of it. They're like, oh, it's getting 60 days out before we're renewing it now.
Yeah, however that works, I would think that they know what they have, right? And so Yeah, and maybe it comes at a premium and maybe that's why they're cost a little more. Something like that. But I would say, yeah, they're kind of holding on to gold,
Right.
because there's only a certain broad range of frequencies that work for cell service, and so it's all split up and allocated and distributed around and blah blah blah, all that stuff. And so yeah, they're holding on to prime real estate for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the same thing with radio, right? Like, yeah, a bunch of people can theoretically 93.1, right? Like, you
can broadcast on that.
Everybody, but then if you got like 100 people broadcasting on that same frequency, you're just gonna hear nothing, like just noise, right? Because everybody's gonna be trying to talk over each other, and you're just like,
sure,
right,
sure.
So like, I get it. Like,
it's like a walkie-talkie. Oh, that's exactly how those work too. Those are tiny radios, so
they're short wave radios, right? Yeah. I mean, is that this? So what's, if you know, because I guess I didn't think about this, because you have radio, you got walkie-talkies, but then you have your ham radios. What is that? The same as a walkie-talkie?
I don't know. I don't know for sure what exactly is the difference. Does ham stand for something?
It surely,
because otherwise it's not talking like ham. It's making me hungry though.
Making you.
I don't know. I don't have the answer to that one, but that would be a fun one to look up. Again, it probably comes down to, because all of these ones, again, I believe are frequency modulated instead of amplitude modulated, but ham might be AM.
Okay. Well, okay.
That's I'm learning, but I don't believe it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Here, we'll give it a pause just in case we need to take it out.
Okay.
Okay, it says it just says, I don't know, the term ham in ham radio is not an acronym. It is believed to have originated as a derogatory term used by professional telegraph operators to describe amateur operators who were perceived as unskilled. Over time, amateur radio operators adopted the term ham as a badge of pride and is now widely used to refer to the hobby and its participants.
Huh. Like hobby AM, maybe?
Yeah.
It's not an acronym, but there you go. I'm going to force one on it.
Yeah, there you go.
But in a derogatory way.
Yeah.
That is fascinating.
That is so wild. Like, oh, you guys aren't actually...
How pretentious is that?
You guys are amateurs.
You amateur radio, you ham. Wow. We're just a bunch of hams, I guess, if we're going to count this as radio.
I mean, that's so true, yeah.
It up over here. I don't know. That's really going to offend some really specific people that'll never listen to this. I'm sure. I don't know. That's weird.
That is
okay. It doesn't stand for
anything.
Wait, but we didn't learn what we set out to learn.
Oh,
what was the question? Well, what does it stand for anything, and how is it different from like regular radio and or walkie-talkies?
Okay, yeah.
Let's seek a little clarity.
I was so caught up in the definition of it that it was like, oh yeah, we did our due diligence on that one.
No, I don't even think we've answered any question yet. Oh my gosh.
Let's see. A ham radio versus a walkie-talkie. Let's see. Ham radios. Let's see. There is no license required for a walkie-talkie for FRS.
Okay.
Ham radio does require a license.
I don't know what FRS is, but that's fine.
I don't know what that means either. Ham radio can go a lot further than walkie-talkies for sure.
I think that's just a power thing, though.
Oh, because it's 5 to 50 plus miles, or even worldwide. Like, yeah, I think it's just a power thing, because walkie-talkies obviously realistically 2 miles. I'm sure you can get better.
REI will tell you they can.
Definitely.
REI will sell you one that goes 10 miles.
Exactly. I was about to say
it's gonna be $600.
Let's see.
I mean, it seems like it's kind of, at least a similar idea, just on a different scale, maybe.
Yeah, it is. And there are minute things, kind of like emergency uses. You're allowed to do it on the ham radio, walkie-talkies. It's a little limited.
Okay, sure.
Casual chats or events, but not like broadcasting. You can't really like.
Well, you only have so far anyway, too. So
Yeah, exactly.
okay,
but yeah, so
pirate radio.
Pirate radio.
That's where we were.
Yes. Pirate radio, it started really, really early in 1920s and 30s. So like right at the beginning of radio. As soon as people found out that you could do it, let's do it. They just started to broadcast music without permission and stuff like that. It was really, really big to showcase different types of music. For example, like in the UK, they didn't allow certain types of music, and they're like, oh, you don't want to allow this type of music. I'm just literally, pirate radio came because they would get a ship, go outside to international waters and broadcast all this.
Like a pirate ship radio.
Yeah. It really,
I like that.
It truly was. It got to the point where a very, very popular one called, where is the name of this? Radio Caroline. In the UK, they used to sit outside in international waters, and they would have supply ships come and give them food just to keep going, because they got so big that if they came back, they're going to get got. Yeah, they're going to get got. Yeah. They're going to face penalties. I mean, I believe here in the US, if you do broadcast, I think you can be fined to $1 million and jail time as well.
That's so much.
Yeah. And it's like, so it was a serious thing.
Wow. Okay.
Radio Caroline would get boats bringing them supplies, food, and everything. But it got so bad that they actually started like, if you go aid these people, we'll come after you too. So,
like aiding a criminal sort of thing.
Exactly. So,
wow.
They were they're running out of food supplies and stuff. So like on the ship,
that's getting dire.
So eventually, I think they stopped for a little bit, but they were not done. Like the cool thing about some of these pirate radio station is, one, like Radio Caroline, not only did they do what they wanted to do, which is bring music to the people that otherwise would not be able to receive that music, right? Because of regulations of the country, not because the artist didn't want it out there. But because the country said, we don't want that kind of music. It was
interesting.
It was a government saying, we don't want this. We don't want this for our like the youths or something. We don't want
Interesting. It's not like a copyright thing.
Yeah, no. Artists, a lot of artists thrived on this because they got to distribute their music out to people, and people really liked it. So they got to discover new artists. So kind of like Spotify, when you put it like kind of like exploring, they were like the pioneers of this, man. And
I want to listen to some of this music because
Radio Caroline is still present to this day.
Hey, cool.
But they do it as a legal station now.
Okay.
Yeah, they push through it and survive this whole thing. So you can still listen to Radio Caroline, which I think is a phenomenal, cool thing. To the persistence of people that just want to put information out there for people.
So this has got my brain going a little bit, because nowadays, Daniel, to really blur the lines, we can bring in iHeartRadio into the discussion.
Oh yeah,
which has a weird mix of hosted stuff and also live radio.
Yes. So iHeartRadio, before you continue, iHeartRadio is one of the big conglomerates of radio. They like are I think the number one like radio station person. They like how do I explain? They're the ones that basically govern radio now.
Oh wow.
They're like, they got it all together and they got it figured out. Like, we want to do radio, and that's what they do. So they're like one of the big players when it comes to radio. They're not just like one single thing. They're like the thing.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I don't see Radio Caroline on there, but I don't know if I'm searching quite right. My question would be, how do I listen to it, Daniel?
Is there?
I don't know.
I
want to listen to it. They have a website. Maybe they broadcast on their own website.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, if their website's terrible, but you can. No, you can listen to it
and just jam out
I guess so.
to the radios of the UK.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to check this out later. Wow, this is a weird website. It's like simultaneously they're doing, it's the design of it.
Yeah.
They've got like some modern elements of like what you'd normally see in like a mobile website.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've got stuff that looks like it's from like 2009. And then they got stuff that looks like it's from like 1997. This is an interesting website. It is not the greatest website I've ever seen, but I am going to listen to it sometime after the show, probably. So very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. One of the coolest
pirate radio. I like that they actually did it on a ship.
Yeah.
That is fascinating.
I think it's awesome.
That's a fun radio story.
Yeah. Right. There's other little small stories, kind of like Radio Free Berkeley, in 1993, a guy named Stephen Dunnifer from California.
That's a good name.
He wanted to protest against the corporate media, like
stick it to the man.
Yeah, sticking it to.
Oh man, California, you said?
Yeah, California.
In what year?
In 93.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this guy tried to shut him down because obviously he's operating illegally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This guy would go and climb hillsides and water towers and just hide little solar powered transmitters that the FCC just couldn't find.
So he was bouncing his own signal around.
Yeah.
So they couldn't find him, or
he could just keep broadcasting and they couldn't find it.
That's awesome.
Like literally FCC agents had to go out and trek and hike these hillsides and go up water towers if they truly wanted to dismantle them. And sometimes was it worth it? I don't know. So sometimes they just other times they were like, no, we need to get that down. We manpower. Let's go. But
that's really awesome.
Yeah.
My question is, why does the FCC care so much? Why such steep penalties? I mean, it to a degree it makes sense. Right, you don't want to pollute something and make the whole. I think we've talked about this before too. It's a commons situation.
Mm-hmm.
So a tragedy of the commons. You only have a certain amount of physical space,
right?
Being in the radio space,
right,
that you can occupy. And if everybody's ruining it, then it ruins it for everybody. Okay. But those are pretty steep penalties. That's a lot of effort to take care of these bad guys. And it's are they really that?
Yeah,
are they really doing that much wrong?
Because for this example, they took him to court, or they tried to take him to court to sue him.
They're operating without a license.
Yeah,
which, if you're driving a car, that's one thing. If you're broadcasting on the radio,
yeah, and
$1 million fine.
Yeah, up to 2 million actually.
Because you drive a car without a license, you're not going to get that.
No, and he fought it, saying that it was an impingement on his free speech, which.
Interesting.
I can
That's
see it.
Fascinating.
I can totally see it. I just want to speak my mind. It's not like
so
like.
So how did that go?
I mean, I'm not sure how that went. I mean, we can definitely
We should follow up on that one real quick because I think a little bit, at least the closure. Let's see if we can at least get. Because my question is like, how high up did that go? Did it eventually get to the like Supreme Court level? I don't know that it would, but if it's going across state boundaries, which if it's radio, it kind of might.
I mean, I don't
know.
Does radio waves going across state lines constitute going across state lines?
I don't know. Like, that is gray as it gets, I think.
Because, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure some fancy, what's it called, lawyer can argue that, like, yes, because.
I mean, well, it would be the same thing as like the pirate radio operating in international waters, right?
That's true.
I mean, they're operating across the boundary, but they're still doing something that they consider to be illegal.
Yeah.
I don't know. But they couldn't really do anything about them other than blockade them. So.
But how do you block that stuff? Like, can you block?
You can with a Faraday cage or something, but not.
But that would be huge over an entire city.
Yeah, no, you can't just like block radio. So I'm really curious to see how that settled in court.
So the U.S. District Judge Claudia Wilkin granted summary judgment in favor of the United States. Dunifer admitted operating a 50-watt FM radio station without an FFG license, violating Section 301 of the Communications Act. They permanent injunction banning Dunifer and collaborators from making radio transmissions unless they obtained an FCC license.
So he lost.
He lost the fight.
I mean, it seems like there's an explicit law that says you can't. Well, but then you said the free speech thing.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think if, I mean, without reading too much into it, it's like, you can speak
you
whatever.
You can say what you want. You just can't do it on the radio on this channel because you don't have a license.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're not prosecuting because of what you said. Yeah. We're prosecuting you because where you're doing it.
Exactly.
Radio, where you're not supposed to.
Yep.
Okay.
Which I get.
Yeah. You can say whatever you want, but there still are consequences.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you did it not in the right order of way.
I guess so.
Right.
Interesting. Law's weird.
It is. Which makes me kind of think though, because going back to radio is instantaneous, live, and going right. You can't say whatever you want on radio, right?
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, if you're cursing up a storm.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I think you can.
Would you be shut down right away though? Because it'd be like, hey.
Know. Yeah, I don't know. Because if it's such an accessible thing and you have like explicit content that can be easily accessed by people who maybe shouldn't.
Right.
Children and stuff. I don't know how that works. Because you don't really hear a lot of, like Sirius, like XM radio.
Right.
Those channels are a little bit more, you see more of that stuff like that. Like there'll be like a comedy channel that doesn't, like they'll do explicit comedy and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Right. But that's behind a paid wall, right? That's because you have to pay for the services of Sirius.
Yeah, true. Because you don't really see a lot of swearing on radio, etc. I don't know how that works. I will say this too. This is a question that you asked kind of me right in the beginning. I do not listen to the radio, and I haven't for a decade or so.
Not once, not even just.
I do not turn the radio on. Like sometimes my wife will, if whatever we're in the car. If we have no other means to, like if we're driving in a foreign country or something, I always like to turn the radio on and just see what's going on there. That's kind of fun. I also don't like, I'm not going to stream on Spotify or anything like that. Maybe I forgot to download something, whatever. We might pop the radio on, but I pretty much exclusively do not. It is a pretty odd day. If I turn the radio on, Yeah, few and far between.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the only time I really turn on the radio is in a rental. That's probably the only time.
Yeah.
Because
We did it the other day in a moving truck.
yeah, exactly.
That was fun.
Yeah, exactly. Because like sometimes, yeah, they might have like what is it, the sync your phone, whatever.
Yeah, I never do that.
Yeah. Yeah, because
it just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly. So
I'm paranoid though. So
so that's why one, a rental.
Yeah.
2, for whatever reason, when I'm back home and I'm in my in-laws' car or something like that,
Okay.
I'll just turn on the radio for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I just want to listen to country.
A little nostalgic maybe too. Listen to the old stations you used to when you're a kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's and then 3, which rarely happens, is when I happen to forget my phone home or something.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I'm like, I just need something
sound. Yeah.
some sound to listen to. I'm gonna put on the radio.
Yeah.
That's the only time I ever, which is kind of why I started looking to, like, man, I don't listen to radio. How is it still prominent? How is it still here?
Who is listening to radio still?
Yeah.
Is it really worth it for advertisers? Like,
which blows my mind even more, because
I guess
every time I listen to radio, it's either an advertisement or the host talking. So I'm just like,
play something. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you played one song in the last 15 minutes. Like, no, I don't want this.
So maybe there's not a whole lot of money in it still. Like, there's still ads, but if it's just ads, then like the radio stations need the money to keep operating. I don't know. That seems like it feels like radio's kind of dying a little bit.
It is. It does feel, but like I said, it still holds a special niche place.
It's very,
that cannot be replaced.
Yeah, it's a utility.
Yep.
I guess at this point.
And that's what it is. It is a utility. I think it also serves for, I don't know, I may just be speaking like my thoughts right now. For somebody that just wants something not so like give it to me now kind of, we're in the age of like we get everything immediately.
Yeah.
And just kind of to serve, like I was saying, maybe a little nostalgia, or maybe just, want to go to a place where I don't have control. It's up to the person to curate something for me, not me curate it for myself.
Like, I'm along for the ride tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
You just show up. I don't have to do anything.
So it very well serve that.
I've seen a lot of things lately too, because you're exactly right. Whatever you want, boom, you got it, right?
Right.
We have a weird question on something really specific on the radio. Boom, we look it up. Boom, we have an answer.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's so fast. That there is something to be said, some credence of. There's like this really niche fad of, and I honestly don't know how popular it is, but like on purpose injecting inefficiencies into your own life, like make things like that difficult in order to kind of increase the reward from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like even like some of the best albums that you can think of that they're probably the ones where you went to the store and bought a CD.
Mm-hmm.
Or like you had to go out of your way in order to get something, and you had to pay for it, and then you had to, and then you had to go home and you got to get the CD player and like get everything set up or whatever. And it goes back, and it's the same thing for records and things like that too. I've even seen people, there's a really niche hobby of customizing old iPods. So you can take old iPods and rebuild them to have like a terabyte of memory on them.
Oh yeah.
And like you can put like whatever you want on them, including just MP3s and stuff like that.
Right.
And just kind of going back to a little bit old school and kind of slowing yourself down and making things a little bit harder to get and maybe increasing their value and their reward for that. So,
right.
So yeah, maybe radio is a little bit like that too.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you might want to hear a song or something like that or whatever, and you might not get what you want.
Yeah.
At least not right away.
Right. What I find it hard on, because of the fact of we have so much accessibility with all our streaming services, like, because I remember growing up, top 40, top 100, top this, and like it was exciting, like on the weekends to hear that.
Yeah,
like
and
you
let
just
it burn down over the course of a couple hours.
Oh yeah, you just go, oh yeah, and then they would finally get to the number one. You're like, oh yeah, that one is a good one.
Yeah,
like we kind of can't get that anymore. We can, but we keep saying it's like the algorithm has curated for us individually that a top 40 for the majority is almost impossible now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are the songs that are very popular, but it's like it's popular because maybe this group right here, that's the 40 percentile, streams it over and over and over and over. But the 60%, they don't really like that music, right?
Yeah.
But the radio is like, oh no, this one's getting a bunch of streams.
Yeah.
So it's like it's
a
little weird. It's a little wonky, where you don't see that anymore. We're the way we experienced it, it's not gonna happen. I wish it could. It was fun. It was so fun just listening to songs like, oh, we're on number 89 now. Oh, it's getting to the top 10 now, and it's like, it's cool. Would I do it now? I don't think so, because then I could just go listen to my own things, which is kind of sad.
Right.
But maybe on the days that I just want to, like you said, kind of build that, like, slow down. Why not? I don't even know radio stations up here, like in the big city.
Yeah.
I don't ever listen to radio, so I don't even know the stations.
And some of them have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they've come and gone, and they use the same frequencies now, and it's like it's some of them are different than what they used to be too, which is really interesting.
Right.
It's like, wasn't this used to be a classic rock station, and now it's a country station?
Yeah, what is going on?
Yeah, so they all kind of move around a little bit sometimes, but some of them are still around.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've got a few other things just popped in my head too, Daniel.
Go for it.
I don't even know. I have one story I've been waiting for you to maybe bring up. We got to talk about that one. I've got a weird factoid about radio, my personal life.
Okay. I'm ready for them because if I feel like, see, I feel like there's a connection from what I want to say and your maybe experiences that maybe because I've been like, I do have something like up ready to go, but I'm just like,
okay, if
this is the natural flow of it, go for it, man. And then we'll see if it connects. And if it doesn't, I'm still going to swing it at you.
Okay.
Regardless.
And a funny story, which you already know the funny story. I wanted to say it out loud on the radio because I think it's so funny. When we got in that moving van the other day and we were listening to the radio, we set every single preset to the Mexican talk show.
Oh my gosh. Yes. That was so good. I had to look it up. I'm like, okay, what is the best one? And I looked it up and yep.
We changed every single preset. Oh man, that was pretty fun. So that was my latest fun experience with the radio. In high school, twice. Well, once, okay. I was on the radio twice.
Okay.
As a jazz radio station.
Ooh.
Once as part of choir, we sang with the jazz band.
That's cool.
And then another time I was on playing in the jazz band. So we said at the beginning we're nerds. I've always been one. So, but I played on the radio, which is pretty neat.
That's awesome.
So, the legit radio.
See, and I think that's it's almost bittersweet because it's like you're on the radio, but you never heard yourself.
I never heard myself on the radio, but I definitely, like we were. Of course, you can't bring anything like your phone and stuff like that. You gotta leave it out. And when you're in the studio, and like we went and we played, we did our songs and stuff like that, and you come out and you got like all these texts, like, "Oh yeah, wow, heard you," and all this stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
but yeah, I never heard myself on the radio. That's very true.
Which is it's cool. it's kind of like I said, bittersweet because you did it, but you wish you kind of heard yourself, right?
Someone
You're
would have to like record
yeah,
it.
like, oh, like, and I'm sure it's out there. I'm sure
Maybe,
like I would guess radio stations would keep recordings
I
of
don't
their
know.
stuff.
Maybe for a while.
Maybe for a while.
Yeah. I mean, that was high school. So that would have been a while ago.
Yeah. But I would assume because sometimes there are like things that are repeated and stuff or like whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much data a radio station produces. It might be kind of a lot. So
yeah.
I don't know. And maybe it's out there somewhere. Maybe someone recorded it too. One of the parents or something.
Exactly.
Even that.
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
But
that was pretty cool.
That's a pretty cool little tidbit about you that I didn't know.
Yeah. It was really cool because the radio host, like he was up in the front and like he would come in and like chat with our teachers, the jazz band instructor. Right. And they would chat and then we'd play a song and then he'd chat. But like he would like come in and talk and then like leave the room and then come in and talk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like every time he'd come in, he'd be like super radio voice and like he'd be like, oh yeah. And like it was like it's the radio guy. You know what I mean? It's so fun. It's like that's a real person. That's what they actually sound like. So that was really fun to just be like, oh my, it's a real thing. Like I'm watching the radio guy.
Yeah, exactly. So. It's this voice, like the back of your hand, but you've never seen the person.
I was like, oh man, it's just so quintessential radio voice. So that was my fun factoid about radio.
That's cool.
And then the other thing that maybe it's somewhere on your list and you haven't brought it up yet too. So I'll poke it and see if it's on your list and whatever, we can talk about it. H.G. Wells.
Oh, wait,
is that on your list?
Is that the one? Continue. I'm not sure if it is or isn't.
The original publication of the War of the Worlds was a radio broadcast.
Oh, yes. This I actually skipped over that. I don't know why. I think I just didn't find it, but please go with it because that is fascinating.
And you fill in any of the information.
No, I think go for it. Just go for it, man.
So what was it? Let's see if I can remember any of this because I've read the book and I thought H.G. Wells was a really interesting writer and all of this stuff. And I was really fascinated with the story of when I was a kid. But it was a radio broadcast and the whole thing was staged as kind of like a social experiment / kind of like a practical joke. I guess I don't exactly know the motivations. Maybe you do, but instead of it being like a book or whatever, and like you said, this used to be like old school Netflix. So families would sit around the radio and listen to music for whatever in the evenings or whatever, either music or radio broadcast shows, whatever. And H.G. Wells had this whole thing written and the whole thing staged to where there would be like an orchestra playing and then they would interrupt it with like an emergency news broadcasts, which were explaining how aliens were invading and like and then they go back to playing and then like, oh no, the invasion's getting worse and all of this stuff. And it created like a ton of panic.
Yes.
Like people thought it was 100% real.
Oh yeah.
So then they had to get back on and like apologize and explain.
Yeah.
But yeah, people were freaked out. And like, I mean, that's like the short version of
it. And that's pretty much the few points that I had. I mean, this was in 1938, guys.
There you go.
So it was very early on. They broadcasted it and they famously convinced listeners around the US that we were truly being invaded.
Yeah.
Which I thought was wild. I mean, like, you take it because it's so instant, because it's something you listen to, because it's something you trust with your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
The moment that it like brings something that you're like, oh my gosh.
It's such a dirty deal. Honestly, the more you think about it.
Yeah.
Because the listeners don't know that there's a guy in the room with the orchestra and he's like, I'm interrupting this to bring you whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like the guy's in the room with the band, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But they don't know that.
Yeah.
So I just find that so utterly fascinating.
I just want, this might be one of the last ones, but I think I saved this one for last because we're thinkers. We like to
ponderers.
and we like to I personally like mystery. I'm sure
I've
do
been
too.
getting you with the mysteries lately. Yeah.
I love it. And this one's cool. I wish we're not at the height of it, but it's still very present.
Okay.
It was very present around the Cold War era.
Okay.
Number stations where people would just broadcast numbers, and they would just be like encryptions.
Interesting.
They were just shortwave radios. They broadcasted seemingly meaningless strings of numbers, letters, or sounds. Often spoken by monotone voices, synthesized speech, or children's voices. So like very eerie, very creepy, like very repetitive stuff like that. But they were meant to be decoded by someone using a one-time pad. So like people would just try to like figure it out, and it was sometimes repeated over and over. But otherwise, sometimes it was just like you get it when you get it, and if you don't got it, it's over. But they did a lot of these during the Cold War, but you can still listen into some number stations today and just kind of like follow the mystery of what they're trying to say.
So they're like puzzles,
basically,
or is it like spies?
Sometimes they're like, I don't think nowadays.
Wow.
Nowadays, I don't think it's more spies because they're kind of like.
Yeah, there's better ways to do that.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's more of a kind of like a great game kind of thing. Like, I have this mystery kind of, can you solve it?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And people go to great lengths to either be the one producing these number stations, or the fan base really want to like solve whatever it is there is to be solved.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's mystery everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But I think this is kind of like that little niche mystery. Like if you really want to like dive into radio, what radio can still provide you.
That's really strange. Radio puzzles.
Is radio puzzles
number stations?
Yeah, number stations.
I want to listen to that just to hear it.
They're transmitted regularly still. They're still monitored by radio enthusiasts. So people with like ham radios and stuff like that, they're all about it, man.
Oh man, there's so many cool, like weird and interesting hobbies out there.
Oh yeah. And they're actively mapped by online communities. So like people like, they're like, it's a real active thing.
I bet these puzzles are hard.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Because it's just a big old string of numbers and you got to figure out, it could mean anything or nothing.
Exactly. And you never know. Like
cryptography is crazy like that.
It is. And I think it's cool because I think there's still some quote unquote number stations. I don't know if they're still active, but from like back in the day or like whatever, that are yet to be cracked, that are just
interesting,
that are just there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because sometimes for example, you would have, let's just say somebody's here in the US, somebody's, in the war across the ocean, right? You have this number that you transmit back to your loved one that only your loved one and the code to. Somebody can intercept that wave and be like, oh my gosh, what is this? And try to solve it. But because they don't have the key, they'll never know.
Yeah. Huh. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's like a really niche thing that you could share with somebody.
Yeah. But people,
bunch of nerds.
Yeah. People did it. People do it. People are very active on doing it. I would love to try it and because obviously you're going to listen to it and like, for example, it's just going to be a string numbers like 5, 7, 2, 9, 3,
like
5, 5, 1. And then it just repeats. And you're just like,
head over to the Patreon where Daniel reads numbers for half an hour.
And you're just like, what? Like, how do you begin to decipher that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think most of the time it's like methods. Pauses. It's the pauses, where it restarts. But besides that, it's like the rhythmic of it. And I'm just like, I still don't know I find it vastly interesting that whole communities have gathered around this and are still interested in it, despite the fact of this modern day age, which is so cool to me.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could.
That feels very mid 1900s, or like you said, a Cold War era.
Yeah.
Just like, we'll just kind of operate right under your nose.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're going to be doing secret stuff and you can hear it, but you're not going to figure it out. I mean, it's like very World War II with like the Enigma machine and like all of that stuff too. Just cryptography in general. So that's cool. I would try to listen to it.
Yeah.
When you said you wanted to try it, I was like, go ahead, Daniel. And then you started reading numbers like, you did it. So I thought that's what you meant. I was like, you got this. I know you got this.
No, I think I would like to. I wonder if there's entry levels. Like, hey, we know like this
Gonna do a beginner one.
Yeah.
Like, somehow.
This one, it's been decoded, debunked. This is like your entry level of, if you really want to get into it, start with this one or start with that one. But I mean, there's plenty of them if you want to go.
I've never heard of that. So that's pretty weird.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Pretty weird, honestly.
I think so. I think radio is just kind of a cool thing that just.
It is.
That's just never. I don't think it truly ever will ever go away. We need it for. I guess we don't need it, but people need it for entertainment.
And it's useful.
And it's very useful. I mean, there's still countries around the world that it's their main source of information still.
Yeah,
it's their main source of entertainment still.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I mean, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. I don't think.
No, I think you're right.
So
I probably won't use it, but
yeah, I mean, this has definitely made me think about like definitely putting in my camping gear.
Yeah,
like just a little wine radio. I'm like, I've never thought about it, but why not?
It might make you feel a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you can get out there and camping, and that's kind of the point half the time too. But it also kind of comforts of civilization a little bit too.
Right.
Turn on some music when you're out there on the radio.
Yeah,
it's like a connection back.
For real.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat.
So, yeah, I might pick, I mean, knowing my wife, she's going to be like...
Go buy one from REI for way too much.
She's going to be like, hey, if we're going to get one, we're going to get a nice looking one or whatever. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Get this Arc'teryx radio.
If they made an Arc'teryx...
Patagonia radio.
A crank Patagonia radio, I'd be like, it'd be way too much. I'm like, if it's more than $20, I'm not getting it.
Yeah, right, Daniel. You go with your hat. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be cool though. I don't know, just to do it.
Yeah,
just to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, number stations. I got to do number stations. I got to look up the pirate radio, pirate Radio Caroline.
Mm-hmm.
What else was my to-do list?
I think those are the big.
Those are the
major ones.
I feel like I'm missing one.
I mean,
that's fine. I'll just listen back when I edit it, and we'll figure it out.
Those are the major points that I had for radio. I mean, I just think radio's cool. Radio's weird, but it's here.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do you want to talk or linger on anything else? Maybe I can answer a few questions, or leave it at that, and we can have it open-ended, and we can definitely have a discussion later.
You know, I can't remember what questions you asked me at the beginning. I think maybe I half answered some of them. So I think I feel pretty satisfied.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. Radio is cool. It's one of those things everybody can identify with, because I think we've all experienced it at least. Yeah. And it plays various parts in all of our lives now, and who knows where it'll go, but I don't think it's going anywhere.
No, not at all.
I think you're probably right. It feels kind of like it's dying, but I don't know that it ever will.
No, I think it will serve a purpose for humanity for a long time.
Yeah. Pirate radio. You're gonna go make one and pay $1 million. I still can't believe that.
We'll go out of Chatfield. Be like, international waters.
Yeah, no, you're dumb. Yeah, I don't know if that's how it works, Daniel, but we can try it.
Yeah.
We can try it.
Well, guys, I know this conversation was a little different than our normal format. There was a lot of scattered
oh my gosh,
nuggets of
I hope
information.
This didn't sound too crazy.
Yeah,
this is a very stream of consciousness between both of us. So,
but this is truly how we started this, just kind of conversation back and forth. This definitely had a little more information within dates and
that's
stuff
true.
like that.
Typically, you don't throw the history at me when we're just
talking,
sitting around.
But I figured we needed it. But
I like it. No, yeah, that's great.
Guys, there's so much more to radio. If you guys are interested in even number stations or pirate radio or just a little bit more history, even like the patent of the hertz between Tesla and all that, like there's so much story on that.
AM versus FM and why the history of why you change from one to the other.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, all of that.
Things that we didn't even hit. Go out there. Like I did some research. I learned some stuff so I can tell McKyler just enough. But you guys go out there, do your own research because there's so much more on this. This topic is very vast, very wide, and I wanted to just point out a few of them. So do your own research and stay curious.
We did it every day today.
Hey everybody, we just like to take a moment to thank everybody out there that has thus far supported us. We do all these recordings and we love doing it. We have fun doing it, but we are paying out of our own pocket, but it does help when people like Liz D, Seth T, Irvin H, DaDog, Mouse T, and Kirk K help us make this little podcast a reality and, lighten the load a little bit. So thank you from both of us and all of the fans. Thank you for helping us make this a reality. And if you guys want to help be part of the Doing Learning crew, you can do so by going to www.patreon.com/Doing Learning. I don't know why I said www.